Well, welcome to RISD, welcome to Providence, and it's great to see all of you here. I'm going to try to give you a sense of, I keep pushing these things away because I'm trying to way my voice sounds there, but anyway, a sense of what the studio part of the first year experience is, and it's a great year, it's a great experience, and I'm just going to show you some work from that, talk to you a little bit about the courses that you'll be taking. The aim that we have for the first year students is to really raise the level of your questions. With all the things that John might have just talked about, it begins with us, and the flexibility, the openness to new ways of thinking. And what we try to do is to let you know that knowledge is not fixed, but it's evolutionary, and to really challenge the students to express their ideas through a process of inquiry, experimentation, and critical analysis. Students are really exposed to a broad range of perspectives in art and design by faculty who are architects, painters, sculptors, photographers, industrial designers. The foundation faculty is made up of a rich mix of different kinds of professional artists who all have very active professional lives in addition to their teaching. We have a common first-year study, and all first-year students, no matter what your future major may be, will be together in Foundation Studies classes. You'll be in a section that stays together for the three courses, which are drawing, design, and spatial dynamics. Spatial dynamics used to be three-dimensional design, but we've broadened it a bit. And so you'll be in a mix with future filmmakers, future apparel designers, painters, sculptors, animators. We have 17 different majors, so all kinds of futures for everybody. So we're the beginning, and the majors will build on our curriculum, but what we see our job is to really broaden your experiences, to take what you do well and help you to do it better, but also to discover all the things that you haven't tried before. Lots of different processes, lots of different materials, lots of different ways of thinking. Our courses are 7.5 hours. Each week you meet each of those three studios for 7.5 hours. They meet one day a week, so your schedule could be something like Monday from 8:30 to 5. Drawing. Have you ever drawn from 8:30 to 5 in an academic situation? Probably not. Wednesday, 8:30 to 5, design class, and Friday, 8:30 to 5, spatial dynamics, and then Tuesday and Thursday would be your liberal arts, and Barbara will talk about those. So it's a full immersion. It's hopefully just what you've been waiting for, so no more of those 50-minute art classes stuck between, Algebra 3 and something else. So anyway, as phys ed will say. So it's great. The classes have time to use our facilities like the Nature Lab, the museum, which is right in the same building that we're in now, or attached. It's got lots of different parts to it, but just working, hands-on working, and a lot of one-on-one time with your faculty. You'll be choosing a major around this time of year next year, and our foundation faculty will help to advise you. You'll have an advisor who's one of your studio teachers, so he or she can really get to know you, and you can get to know them and discuss things. We have a whole process that we put you through to help you make that choice of major here. So let me just go ahead and show you some images. This is a shot of the museum, which is our other great resource. I hope you all get to see the Nature Lab and the museum today because they're really unique, wonderful, that just enrich in our programs immeasurably. Foundation Studies at RISD is very hands-on. We have lots of computers, lots of new media, but our core is still very hands-on. We do a lot of hands-on to the computer, back to hands-on kind of thing. We don't separate it out as a different, separate kind of medium. I'll start out with spatial dynamics, our three-dimensional course, and it, you probably would start out, and everyone teaches differently. We don't have cookie-cutter courses. Every faculty brings their own passions and knowledge to the students, and so you'll see lots of different approaches to the courses. But basic forms, understanding basic manipulation of materials. This is a several-week project where students will end up working with cardboard to create chairs and that have to support their weight without any glue or fasteners, but they start out, and I think this is something people don't always see when they see the final project, is the work that goes into it. There are many, many hours experimenting, trying out different ways of approaching it. So these are some of the small scale models that are done before the final project would be done. So lots of preliminary work, and these are the chairs that have to support your weight, but it's all folded, and a lot of thinking and translating from 2D to 3D there. Another class may be making seats or chairs of sorts, but here it's cement. You can see the physicality, like you really get physically involved in 3D and drawing and all of your classes. It's a very active kind of process for the most part. Using objects from the Nature Lab, and these are very, pine cones, seed pods, and working with them abstractly, creating them in clay, you see here, much larger than life size, and then translating it into a much more abstract form. Okay, this one is so complex. The paper that you see above with all the lines drawn on, you have to use every square inch. You can fold and cut, but you have to use every square inch of that piece of Bristol board to create the object that you see below. Wow. And the directions for making it are on the lower right there. So you really have to think, inside out, upside down, and very much translating from that 2D to that 3D world. And then there are much more open-ended kinds of projects that you can translate that more directed thinking to a much more open-ended, experimental use of materials. We like our students to experiment, take risks. That's a really important thing for us. This is a kinetic, later in the semester project with kinetic, it just has to move in some way, and it's much more open-ended than the earlier, more directed assignments. Same thing here, this is based on a piece of music, and so understanding that music in space and 3 dimensions.
Wow.
So this class was looking at wings and motion with wings. Tea bags, if you don't like to drink the tea, you can make a costume with it. This is a sculpture. This student went down to ID and got a lot of information and help from an ID faculty to build these. It's a combination of, in the research she did up there on the right, of looking at a sculptor and an architect and somehow bringing their work together and reinterpreting it. Each member of the class had to buy several 2x4s and then design a way to put them together and direct the rest of the class in that construction. And then this is the boat project in the spring. The students are just about ready to start this now, where they build boats. They get a lot of information about the structure of boats, but they build their boats with cardboard, shrink wrap them, decorate them. They work in pairs, 2s or 3s, and then take them out to Lincoln Woods at the end of the semester and race them and get prizes. And you can see that they do have life jackets on, and they all do. It's not deep, but it makes me nervous, so I make them wear life jackets.
island. I want to
Okay,
go.
so design class could be very simple. This is sharp versus fuzzy or blurry. So just contrasting words and what that looks like visually. This is done on a computer. Shadow, light and shadow. What does that mean in a form like this as opposed to in the drawing class? Color, lots of different color studies and different iterations of the same design with different